So I wanted to do a video about all the incredible things that have happened to me in January, because it is a long, dark, cold month in these northern areas. I'm in Pennsylvania, and I just was thinking about that I've had a lot of incredible things happen, and I think it's important to realize that great things happen, beautiful, miraculous things happen, even in the bleak midwinter. And where's my list? I wrote them all down because there were so many to remember, and I didn't want to miss them. I'm just going to go in order. And I'm born on February. I'm born February 2nd. I was born under a Leo full moon, which this is going to be the Leo full moon, February 1st. And I'm also born, it's called Imbolc, or St. Bridget's. It's a pagan goddess of creativity, poetry, the hearth, like the womb and the flame in the winter. And it's the rebirth. It's actually February 1st, February 2nd is halfway between the winter solstice, which is, the start of winter, and the spring equinox, the start of spring. So that's right in there. It's like the quickening. It's like the womb, the hearth, creativity. And it's so me. And I was, this year, it's going to be also a Leo full moon on Imbolc. So, and then the next day is my birthday. And so it's very synchronistic, and this February is going to be wow. But I just wanted to talk about January, because I feel like people dread it, and it's often overlooked and something to be gotten through. So these are all things that happened for me, a miraculous January. The first one's going to sound a little bit weird. This was when I was 25, and it's the first one I can remember of a January miracle. But I terminated a pregnancy with a boyfriend that I'd had since high school, and it was a 9-year relationship. We were going nowhere, and I had zero regrets on this termination. So people that say that, oh, women always pay, you don't. And I was out of the relationship, out of the, raising a child with or without him. And that child reincarnated back to me. So no souls are lost. So that was the first thing. That was a new start. And I just felt a total freedom and a surety of that decision, which started me in my current path, which leads to the next one. In January, it was the first date and the first time I got together with my now husband. And it was really, really good. And it was very life-changing and pow. So that was January. The next one is related to that. We conceived our first child in January. It had been 32 years ago. And we started January 1st, and it was almost an instant conception. It was very magical, so that was totally cool. And another time in January, we started to look for our first house together, and that again is very magical. I went on a very intense spiritual journey 15 years ago when my baby brother died. He was 49. He died in June. I was 50. And he opened up the Akashic records to me. Well, he didn't open them up, but he opened up me on this very intense spiritual path. Pete, my brother Pete, hey Pete, yeah. And my first, so I started searching, and the first thing I did was I booked an appointment with a woman that did past life recalls, and my first past life recall was in January, and that was kind of the start of my spiritual journey. Later on in my spiritual journey, many years later, and this is probably like 12 years later I'm talking about, I went all the way down to Delaware on a cold January night because a woman that I had met at like a spiritual fair told me about this woman. She was an energy healer, and she said you should go down to see her. And it was a lot for me. Like, I don't you know, I'm not a big traveler. I had to drive alone. It wasn't that far, but it was like an hour away in a cold January night. And I showed up there, and everybody else had come with their partner or a girlfriend. I was the only one that came alone, and I was hoping to meet people, you know, like spiritual friends. No, I came alone, but I met the healer, and it changed my life. And so that happened, and through that healer, it was through a meeting her, and then she told me about another woman, she told me another woman, she told me another woman. I met Jacqueline Ellis, who has been my go-to guide and girl for 13 years now. So she led to Jackie. More recently, through my videos, which I'm still doing my dance videos, I which I still post on Facebook. But a friend in the town I live in Swarthmore, a friend who I've known for a lot of years as, you know, the dad of a friend of our daughters, and he's been interested in spiritual things, and kind of had said, oh, let's get together and talk about it. And I'm always like, yes, I want to talk 24/7. Like I would talk 24/7 about astrology or reincarnation or anything. And just a couple days ago, he meant it, and so we met up and for a very nice lunch, and it was just so wonderful to have somebody in my town that wants to talk about this thing. So that happened in January. I had a very miraculous happening with my beautiful shaman cat, Kelsey, who I used to post her. She died 2 or 3 years ago now, but she had cancer on her nipple, and the vet had said that she was going to die. It would be fatal. And even Jackie, that I talked to, my spiritual advisor, she said that this is how Kelsey wanted to exit. And it was a January day, and I was broken up. I wasn't ready for Kelsey to leave me yet. And I said to her, sitting on our window seat, I said, Kelsey, you don't want to go like that. They had removed the nipple. And I was waiting to hear the biopsy back and whether it had metastasized, which they said that it had. They said that it would. But Kelsey reached out. I remember it was a sunny day on the window seat, and I said, Kelsey, you don't want to go like cancer. You could go another way. And she reached out with her paw and touched my hand. And in that moment, I knew that she had no cancer, and the cancer was healed. And that's when it came back. The vet said no cancer, and Jackie said she'd never seen that level of animal human transference and healing. And that was my girl Kelsey. So that was miraculous. Another thing incredible, we went to Dublin with best friends in January, and it was like 40 degrees and palm trees in Dublin, and we actually met the guitar player for Elvis's band. He stayed at our hotel, and we met him at breakfast. More recently, I found a really incredible woman right down the street from me that did my hair. Like, this is a wig, but my hair's just been gray for like 5 years now. I hated to get it done. I haven't found anybody that I liked, and so I just found this woman, Marie. She did an incredible job on my hair, so I love that. What else? This is another, this is long, like probably nobody is listening to this. I'm not a very good, you know, whatever. I did, about 5 years ago, you can find them on my YouTube channel. I did this whole TV series, this show, where I did all the characters. I did Madame Dupre, which was this wealthy, like, aristocrat who had poisoned her husband. And then she remarried Lord Whimsy. And he was this very cool guy. And they were always up to madcap stuff and jokes. But I wrote, you know, I did all in January. I dressed up as him. I dressed up as her. I did the scripts. I did the sound. And so that, I think, will come back later. Like, nobody really cared about it that much when I posted it, but I can see Madame Dupre and Lord Whimsy making a comeback. But that was January. And then we've had a baby born in the family that was very significant, baby Blair. And she's very karmic and very beautiful and significant, born to a cousin, a niece in the family. So that's it. Anybody that listened to all this, January, I've had a lot of incredible starts. And I do feel winding down with my dance videos, and that I will be moving on. And that's perhaps, you know, I did my last dance video in January. So we'll see. But January can be magical and wonderful, and any day is a day for miracles.